Alrighty guys, today I will be looking at what has been one of my favorite mice in the past few weeks, the Ninjutso and Vaxee collab on the new Sora V2 model, which I have in red here. Throughout this video, I will be comparing it to the previous version of the Ninjutso Sora, which is the Sora V2, which I have here in white. Now, there was a version of the Ninjutso Sora before this one, hence why this is the V2, which was more akin to the shape of the Ninjutso and Vaxee Sora collab. However, Ninjutso teamed up with Vaxee and they brought out this newer version of the mouse, which I'll be going over today. In terms of size, the original Sora V2 has a length of 119 millimeters, a width of 60 millimeters, and a height of 38 millimeters, weighing in at 39 grams. While the Ninjutso and Vaxee collab comes in at a length of 121 millimeters, a width of 65 millimeters, and a height of 37 millimeters, weighing in at 59 grams depending on the skates. The Ninjutso and Vaxee collab shape is a little bit longer and wider, but it is a millimeter lower. The extra length of the Ninjutso and Vaxee collab makes the hump feel a little bit further forward in the mouse. Technically, it's roughly at the same place in the mouse, but the extra width towards the back just makes it feel more like a mid hump rather than the rear hump which you get on the Sora V2. This rear hump on the Sora V2 made it one of my favorite claw shapes, as it does still have a very pronounced rear hump, but not as strongly as the Pulsar X2H, for example. The mouse is relatively thin, especially towards the base, making it not feel too aggressive of a claw in the hand, but very comfortable when playing with it. The extra length and width of the Ninjutso and Vaxee collab makes it fill out the base of the hand a lot more, and as I mentioned previously, the extra length makes it feel as though the hump is a little bit further towards the middle. It is definitely still appropriate for claw-style grips, however I do prefer the shape of the Sora V2 a little bit over the Sora V1 or the Ninjutso Vaxee collab shape. Now, the collab shape is a little bit more appropriate to a palm-style grip in my opinion, which is personally what I've been playing, or a little bit more of a relaxed claw grip. However, in terms of the shape, the differences are very nuanced, and I personally absolutely loved both of these shapes. Another key consideration when picking the collab or the V2 is to consider the weight. The collab is 20 grams heavier, which is a lot for people who are used to more lightweight mice. However, with this additional weight, you do also get benefits in terms of the build quality. The collab feels a lot thicker and a lot sturdier in terms of the build, making it feel a lot more premium. The Sora V2 doesn't feel cheap by any means, but it almost feels a little bit hollow, comparable to the Maya X for those who've tried it. This hollow feeling is not an issue during gameplay whatsoever, but it's something definitely to take into consideration. Another key consideration is the price. The Sora V2 comes in at around $120, whereas the collab shape comes in at around $160. It does come with a better sensor with a Pixart 3950 compared to the Pixart 3395 in the Sora V2. However, it does come with a maximum polling rate of 4K compared to the 8K on the Sora V2, though the dongle for this is sold separately. In terms of colorways, the Ninjutso and Vaxee collab comes in a black, a blue, orange, pink, and a red colorway, while the Sora V2 comes in white, black, and pink. The original Sora V2 comes with Omron optical switches. They do have a very good implementation of these switches, which are very well tensioned, even towards the back, although it does get slightly harder to press down there. The side buttons on the Sora V2 also feel solid, though not perfect, and the clicks do have an advertised 1 millisecond click latency. The Ninjutso and Vaxee collab, however, comes with Huano mechanical switches, which I absolutely prefer. This is one of my favorite switch implementations in recent time, and I even prefer it to the OP1 8K and some of the Zowie mice I've tested recently, especially the side buttons. They are phenomenal. Vaxee also advertised the clicks as having 0 millisecond latency. This is on the low latency competitive mode, which is available through the mouse's settings, which is something that I can absolutely recommend, even though it does slightly degrade the battery life. Overall, the clicks on the Sora V2 are definitely good and better than a lot of similar implementations of the Omron optical. However, the Vaxee Sora collab is just simply one of the best click feelings that I have ever had in a mouse. In terms of the software and settings, the Sora V2 comes with WebDriver software, which has basically all of the settings that you would expect, while the Ninjutso and Vaxee collab uses on-mouse controls in order to change a lot of the settings. These were a little confusing to me at first, however, upon checking Vaxee's website, a lot of it became a lot clearer, and it is quite intuitive to switch through the modes now that I know how to do it. This is where I changed things like the latency, the lift-off distance. The DPI can be switched on the bottom of the mouse, so that's not something that you have to go through any complicated setup for. Overall, while the Sora V2 is slightly cheaper, has a better shape for claw grip, and does go up to 8K polling, I do think that the Ninjutso and Vaxee collab is simply a better mouse. The $40 price difference, which goes down to $20 if you also buy the 8K dongle, is absolutely noticeable and worth it. I think for these extra $20, you simply get something that is much better in terms of the clicks, in terms of the build quality, and the overall feel in hand with the coating, that it is absolutely worth paying. That being said, the extra 20 grams in weight may be a deal breaker for some people. While I personally don't feel like the mouse felt that heavy just because of the way that the weight is balanced in my hand, it is something that will turn some people off of this shape. If that is you, what I will say is that the Sora V2 is still an excellent mouse, and I can absolutely recommend it to anyone that likes playing with claw grip. So if I had to make a personal choice, I would choose the Ninjutso and Vaxee collab 9 times out of 10. However, I can also absolutely acknowledge that the Sora V2 is a fantastic mouse and is used by many people for very good reason. Let me know in the comments down below if you main either of these two mice, or which mouse you would choose if you could pick between one of the two. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hopefully I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Have a good one.